My partner 21M recently said something that left me speechless. We were just chilling together, and out of nowhere, he tells me that he's the best thing that could ever happen to me, 19F. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. I mean, who says that? Especially when we've only been dating for 3 months. It wasn't like he was being romantic or sweet. It came across as more arrogant and condescending. I felt like he was implying that I'm lucky to have him in my life, and that's a pretty big red flag for me. I've been dating my partner 21M for 3 months now, and we're both ambitious students. He's in med school, while I'm studying law, 19F. We come from similar backgrounds with comfortable family lives. However, there's one thing that sets him apart. His dad gifted him not 1, but 2 Japanese sports cars. I mean, that's pretty extravagant. But what's really bothered me lately is how he's been acting towards me. He's become super patronizing, rude, and belittling. It's like he thinks he's superior to me or something. He talks down to me, makes snide comments, and acts like I'm not capable of achieving my goals. It's really frustrating and hurtful. There have been several instances where his condescending behavior has really gotten under my skin. For example, one time he casually mentioned that I look good with him as my partner because he has 2 nice cars. I was taken aback. What do his cars have to do with anything? They're not even luxury or high-end cars. It felt like he was trying to imply that I'm somehow lucky to be with him because of his material possessions. And another thing that really grinds my gears is how he constantly complains about my flat being too small. Like, who is he to judge? It's my space, and I'm happy with it. He's always making snide comments about how cramped it is, how it's not modern enough, or how it's not up to his standards. It feels like he's trying to belittle me and my choices. Things only got worse from there. One day he made a comment that really infuriated me. He said that law students are stupid and that we're not all-rounders, implying that we're somehow less capable than others. I couldn't believe he would say something so derogatory and dismissive of my chosen field of study. And if that wasn't enough, another time his father's convertible broke down and we were discussing new car options. I suggested a hybrid car, thinking it was a practical and environmentally friendly choice. But he scoffed at the idea, saying that electric vehicles are for poor people. Can you believe that? I was so annoyed that I sarcastically told him to go buy a Ferrari if he's that posh, knowing full well he couldn't afford it. I even threw in a bit of a Borat-esque tone to really drive the point home. Great success. Yeah, it was a pretty awkward moment. Then he dropped another bombshell that left me speechless. He actually said that he's the best thing that's ever happened to me in my life. I mean, who says that? It's not just the words, it's the entitlement and arrogance behind them. And if that wasn't enough, he also told me that I'll never make as much money as him, so he's prepared to pay my way. Like what? Is he kidding me? Does he think I'm some kind of damsel in distress who can't take care of herself? It's infuriating. And to make matters worse, he met my mom for dinner today, which is a big deal in Chinese culture. Usually the boyfriend takes the initiative to pay the bill, but not him. When the bill came, he just sat there, glued to his phone, laughing at memes, completely oblivious to the fact that he should be taking care of the bill. I was mortified. But that's still not all. There's another side to him that's really disturbing. He has this habit of using vile and dehumanizing language when talking about other women. He'll call them the most horrible names, like they're nothing more than objects. It's disgusting. And it's not just women. He'll also use slurs against guys who don't fit his idea of cool. Like the time he saw someone's van at a car meet and called the owner a derogatory name. I mean, what's the point of a car meet if not to appreciate cars and share that passion with others? It's supposed to be a community, not a competition to show off your wealth. But he can't seem to grasp that. He's always judging people based on superficial things, and it's really toxic. I'm a law student, and while I may not have the same level of scientific knowledge as him, that doesn't mean I'm stupid. I'm capable and intelligent in my own ways, and I deserve respect. But even if I wasn't, no one deserves to be spoken down to and belittled like that. His behavior makes me feel so disrespected and unvalued. Now, I'm torn between 2 options. Should I just block him and disappear from his life? Or is it worth having a confrontation and telling him about the problems I have with his attitude? Part of me wants to stand up for myself and make him understand how his words and actions affect me. But another part of me just wants to cut my losses and move on from this toxic relationship. I'm really unsure about what to do. Update, I finally gathered the courage to have a conversation with him. I approached it calmly and tried to let him down gently, explaining that our values and personalities just don't align. I told him that I don't think we're compatible for a relationship, and that it's best if we go our separate ways. I tried to avoid blaming or accusing language, and instead focused on my own feelings and needs. It wasn't an easy conversation to have, but I felt like it was necessary. I'm actually relieved it's over, and I'm looking forward to moving on from this experience. I hope I can learn from it and find someone who truly respects and values me for who I am. Surprisingly, he took the breakup calmly, but then proceeded to make excuses for his behavior. He claimed that he only said those hurtful things because of his own insecurities. Yeah, right, I wasn't buying it. It sounded like a classic case of gaslighting, trying to shift the blame and make me feel sympathetic towards him. But I wasn't having it. He tried to convince me to stay in the relationship, but I just stayed silent and let him finish his monologue. I wasn't interested in hearing his justifications or excuses. As soon as I got home, I stopped responding to his messages and essentially ghosted him. It wasn't a dramatic or exciting conclusion, but I'm just glad it's over and I can move on with my life. No more toxic relationship for me.
Story 2.
Why do I hate talking to my mom? Lately, I've been really brief with my mom. Whenever she tries to start a conversation or asks me a question, I respond with short, one-word answers. I don't elaborate or share anything about my day or life. It's like I'm shutting her out. We still live together, but our interactions have become super minimal. I only say a few words to her each day, like hello or good night. I find myself avoiding her more and more, trying to stay out of her way. It's gotten to the point where I feel really lonely. Even in my own home, I don't look forward to coming back anymore, which is sad because it's supposed to be a place where I feel safe and comfortable. I know my mom feels lonely too, and it's not like I want her to feel that way. But honestly, I think I've just given up on trying to get through to her. For as long as I can remember, she's always put other people and things first: her boyfriends, her job, her own interests. My sister and I have always come second, and I think that's finally starting to sink in. When I used to try to talk to her, I felt like she wasn't really listening. Her responses seemed forced, like she was just saying what she thought I wanted to hear, so I'd shut up and leave her alone. It felt so insincere, like she was just pretending to care. And that hurt even more than if she'd just ignored me altogether. Maybe I'm just misreading the whole situation and overreacting. Maybe my mom does care, but I've been so hurt and frustrated for so long that I can't see it. But if that's the case, why hasn't she said anything about the way I've been pulling away? Why hasn't she tried to talk to me about it or ask me what's wrong? Her silence makes me feel like she's not even bothered, like she's just fine with our relationship being this way. And that's what hurts the most. I'm stuck in this limbo, unsure of what to do or how to fix things. Part of me wants to try to talk to her again, to see if we can work through this and come out stronger on the other side. But another part of me is screaming to just give up, to accept that this is what our relationship is now and move on with my life.